So hello journeyers, this is the final week of the course, and you'll be drafting your final submissions, or you'll be catching up on any outstanding tasks. We hope that you found your time on the course useful, and we hope that you'll use the resources moving forward. Not only the resources that we've shared on the course, but also possibly the connections that you've made with other people. It could be useful to think about the course as a network of connections, the way we interact with people and ideas. So as the JRW team, I mean, if we sit and we think back over the course, and there are many moments that stand out for us. I mean, I remember early on in one of the Just Right sessions, someone was really stuck with their writing, and they described their mind being filled with spider webs. And I just thought about how we could all kind of immediately identify with that feeling, trying to move beyond that point. So I'm sitting here with Lucia and Aditi, and I just wondered if there are any other moments that stand out for them on JRW.
I love that your point about the connections, and when something a little bit unexpected happens and it takes you by surprise and makes you see things in a different way. For me, I love the way that, I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but they're just like a few people talking about aesthetics from different places, and I love that. I'm not sure how much of a connection people were able to make with each other, but certainly as a participant stroke facilitator on the course, I loved that. It was amazing. You get these little pops of experience and stuff.
Yeah, I like the image of the spider web. I mean, one would think of it as something that's stagnant, like cobwebs, but it can also be a productive and creative process. I mean, the whole process of generating or weaving a web is quite a creative one, and one can get very engrossed in it and get into the flow of it and not see the way out of it, but it's still, if one steps back, it looks beautiful. It's so for me, it's also something very creative and productive.
And the recyclers.
The recyclers also made, connections. Yeah.
And part of that was a lovely thing about people from different universities.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. It's like we broke the bounds of UCT. I like that. Yeah.
And it's interesting because there were at least two people who were looking at kind of different ways of knowing. Right? And I mean, a concern there where you're taking a different route or a different approach is always with the other people, I guess, who connect with your work. And I was just looking back on one of the participants who was doing that kind of work, her week 2 post. She got about 7 comments on that post, which to me is very interesting, that people seem to connect with these ideas of just a different way of approaching something, of approaching a question, a research question.
And for me, what was interesting were these moments of translanguaging that happened, where someone was writing about language ideologies and student-led publications, and asking the question, to what extent can I write in my own language? And while he did so initially, over time, if you look at the final draft, it is completely devoid of any word or term in any other language than English. But then I was also thinking, is translanguaging also about using English in a different way? So yeah, that kind of stuck with me as well.
It's interesting, even as I'm not posting my writing up there, but I find that I'm walking away from the course, and even in the moment of engaging with participant posts, and you carry those ideas with you. You think about it. So I was just reading someone's kind of week 4 post about also just sensation and tapping on something and listening and feeling, and I thought, I'm going to do that. That's something I'm going to try and see what kind of sensation it creates, what it does. And that's interesting that even as a facilitator now, because I've interacted with these different worlds through the posts, there's so much that I'm going to take away with me too. Yeah.
It's about connections.
Yeah. And I mean, even in the material sense about connections. Because I also think about someone who couldn't access the just right space with the laptop or computer, or couldn't access the Vula site at least, and sent me WhatsApps to say when they were online, when they were writing, when they were taking a break. Really creative with the way they were doing it, but still found that kind of structure, and also being, what's the word? Just being accountable to someone, I guess, and knowing that there's someone on the other side. Really helpful, at least I hope. So that's also a highlight for me, that this person was invested enough to find a different way of kind of engaging with what we were doing.
You don't think of that as a feature of the online environment, do you? Or it kind of, there's these little gems of people finding ways to connect.
I mean, definitely, but for me it also says that, even in this community, there was a kind of one-on-one connection that the person was using to access the community. And I guess there were moments where I was a bit discouraged by, the number of posts, what I assumed to be a lack of engagement. But then I also counter that feeling with, so I don't know how people are engaging. And even if they decided not to, maybe they found the bits that they could use, I hope. Or they decided, actually, this isn't for me, and here's another space, so there's another resource that I perhaps will utilize. And I hope that's another possibility too,
It's interesting because I've bumped into somebody I know who was doing the course, and she said, I'm sorry I haven't been so busy and involved, but I've just been so busy writing. And I thought, but that's fantastic. Yeah. So
It made me also think about the resonance of GRW with the disciplines. And as much as we have access to what the activities happening in the site, we don't really have access to what's happening beyond, and to what extent this writing is helping them with their other activities beyond the course. Of course, we have asked students to write about whatever they're busy with at the moment in the disciplines. So we're getting a few glimpses, but it would be really interesting maybe to ask students to what extent it actually helped or translated into something in their own disciplines.
Well, that's an opportunity to follow up. But it's nice to know that, the WordPress site is there.
Yeah.
participants are all members of the Vula site.
Mm.
So even if they couldn't participate now, couldn't access those resources,
Mm.
it's there for them to access when they're ready.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or to share with somebody else.
Have to share with someone else.
Which
When
is
work
an
isn't that
exciting
busy,
idea. Yeah.
You've got some free time. Come
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
the site.
Yeah. And look at it with someone you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share it. Mm.